From the alley-oops at Keyshaw to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's playoff time, and we are going to be picking all the playoff matchups all the way up to the Super Bowl, from wild card to Super Bowl. I'm going to let you know who's going to win each game.
Let's see if I can continue my streak of picking the 49ers.
I'm not gonna lie. It'd be really hard to do.
Yep.
But if you somehow manage to pull it off, sir, super impressed. Because as we all know, the 49ers didn't make the playoffs.
Nope.
So we cannot homer the playoff tourney
That's
this
right.
year. But that's this year. Wait till next year. But up first, guys.
Watch me try.
You're gonna try really hard. Up first, we do have the first round. Wild card weekend. That's this weekend, gentlemen.
Yep, the Super Wild Card Weekend. It's going to be a fun one.
Up first for this one. By the way, what a impressive little setup we have here. Look at this. It's so nice.
Nice.
It's beautiful. But anyway, first round, Super Wild Card Weekend. Chiefs obviously on a bye, so they can obviously advance into the next
I'm
round.
picking them to win the first week.
I'm very proud of you. You're 1-0 already. Bills, Colts. 2-seeded Bills at home versus the 7-seeded Colts. Ant, what are you feeling on this game, this matchup? Where are you leaning towards? Who do you think's going to come out on top here?
The Bills are the hottest team in the NFL, and they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. I don't think I could ever trust Phillip Rivers to win playoff games. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with the Bills. 31-20. They will win, and they will move on to the next round.
31-20.
I'm going to also take Buffalo in that game. I agree Buffalo's offense is rolling. They've got a strong defense. I don't think the Colts have enough on offense to keep up with them. They have a pretty solid defense that should keep them in the game for a while. But I think Josh Allen and that receiving core are just too hot for them right now. I'm going to say 28-17. Bills.
Nice little score there. I think it'd be crazy for anyone to pick against the Bills right now, this early in the playoffs, the way they've been playing. We saw what they did to the 49ers on Monday night. This team is playing lights out. Josh Allen is looking like the MVP of the league. The defense has been spot on, and they've done a great job of building that defense up there in Buffalo. I think they handle this Colts team pretty well. I think Josh Allen shows that he's ready to be a guy who doesn't have to force the issue and have to force plays. He's going to let things come to him. 38-17, Buffalo.
Nice. So the next game on the schedule, Horst, in the AFC is the 3 seed, the Steelers, who got off to that 10-0 start, and they are going to be welcoming division rival, the Browns, who just beat them last week. Of course, Ben Roethlisberger didn't play, but who you got? You got the Steel City, or you got the Dog Pound?
You know, this is one I flip back and forth on because I've been an outspoken critic of the Steelers, especially since they went on this little...
And maybe a little bit of a lover of Baker Mayfield.
I am a fan of Baker Mayfield. I will put that out there. And I would love to see the Browns win because I don't want to see the Steelers win their 7th championship. But I think when you put it together that when they played each other at full strength, the Steelers mopped them. When they played last week with the Steelers playing some of their backups, it was still a close game. And Kevin Stefanski is going to be out. I'm going to have to take the Steelers 24-20.
I'm going to do the opposite of what you're doing. And the reason for that is only because I don't trust the Steelers team. They're having a complete identity crisis. They're having a complete implosion on the defensive side of the ball. They are way too talented offensively to struggle as much as they've been struggling. And unless they have been intentionally not using Chase Claypool and trying to force feed the ball to certain guys to make them happy, unless there's a complete overall in terms of how they try and conduct their offense and run offense, I don't think they have a chance. Even if Stefanski isn't coaching and out there on the field, I think the Browns' offense can do enough in the ground game to control the game and slow it down. It might be an ugly game, but if it's an ugly game, I would have to go with the Browns because of their ability to control the running game, control the clock, keep the Steelers' offense off the field, and the Steelers cannot find a way to run the football at all. It doesn't matter who's in the backfield right now. They cannot run the ball. And if you're going to ask Ben Roethlisberger to throw 50, 60 times a game, unless you're going to get Claypool involved, unless you're not going to try and force feed certain receivers, I don't see how this offense can function. I'm going to say it's going to be closer to 17-14 Cleveland.
The fact that Joe Hayden's not playing is kind of scary for the Steelers in the secondary.
Big deal.
But they do have one heck of a pass rush, so that's going to be big for them. If Stefanski was coaching, I would probably lean more towards the Browns because I think he's been a great play caller, and you can see the difference that he's made this year so far. But I don't think they're going to have the same impact. I don't trust this offensive coordinator to make the necessary calls that need to be made. When it comes down to it, Ben Roethlisberger now had a week off that he was able to rest and get right. Ben is still one of the big-time quarterbacks in the NFL. When it gets to the playoffs, if you don't have a solid run game, if you have a big-time quarterback, you can win games. They have all the weapons they need at the receiver position. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Steelers 27-20.
By the way, if you weren't aware, the Browns signed the trash can at corner and are activating him for this game.
Yeah.
Well,
and if you follow our show, you're well aware who the trash can is.
And if you're not aware of our show, just go back and watch highlights of
Brian Allen.
Yeah, I know. You can just go back and watch highlights of our show, or you can watch highlights of the Niners versus the Dolphins and watch them get toasted.
Yeah.
7 touchdowns.
So we have the last game of Wild Card Weekend in the AFC. And this is for the old-time big bruising football-loving folks.
Oh, yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart, the Titans and the Ravens.
I'm literally, with this one, I feel this game could go either way. The Ravens are playing hot right now, football-wise. Lamar Jackson is starting to come back into form. However, the Tennessee Titans have somehow, every time they've had a test thrown their way this year, found a way to come back and overcome. The finish to last week's game was absolutely ridiculous. A long bomb with like 20 seconds left to A.J. Brown to put you in field goal range to beat Houston was just ridiculous. I'm going to pick my favorite of the two running backs in this scenario to carry this team to victory, and that's big old Derrick Henry. That dude is an absolute monster. I think they're going to ride this guy to a victory this week. I think Tannehill makes just a few good enough passes that they're able to put up more points than the Ravens, and the Ravens defense has been struggling all season long. I don't think they're going to find their identity anytime soon. 21-17 Titans.
I think we have two struggling defenses. The one thing I do know is that the Titans have beat the Ravens the last two times they've played, including in knocking them out of the playoffs last year. Derrick Henry has to be the difference in this game. They still have weapons on the outside, which at least they have that going for them. Lamar Jackson is the wild card in this game because he can make plays. And I think that both teams are going to make a lot of plays. But I think that Derrick Henry is going to run just a little bit more. And I think that the Titans are going to win 34-31 in a big-time showdown. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch, maybe the best one of the weekend.
Oh, my.
I agree with that statement that I think this is the best matchup that first weekend. I think same reasons you guys. I think they're going to pound it, come right at him with Derrick Henry. I don't think the Ravens have an answer for it, and I think it'll keep Lamar Jackson and company off the field enough. I don't think they'll hammer him like last year. I have them winning 31-28. Tennessee.
That's two big...
Houston Oilers, 31-28.
Houston Oilers, 31-20. That's two big wins there. That's incredible there. And now we got the NFC side of the bracket, gentlemen. You've seen when we picked out the AFC. We need to talk and discuss about this NFC matchups. Obviously, the Packers, the 1 seed, first bye. You're going to slide into that top slot. Playing, remember, for second-round games, you are going to reseed. So it's going to be the worst seed left is going to play the top seeds. So first up, though, we have Saints versus the Bears. Interesting matchups. Saints have been really struggling all season long. The re-injection of Drew Brees, and do you think that's going to help them? Or do you think Mitchell Trubisky and those pesky Bears find a way to get it done?
The Bears are not going to be easy to play. Luckily for the Saints, they're not playing the Minnesota Vikings because that'd be an automatic loss. But Michael Thomas should be back. He's coming off the IR. I don't know if Alvin Kamara will officially be playing, but hopefully he will be back. If Alvin Kamara plays, I think that definitely gives the Saints the upper hand. If he doesn't, it could be more of a wild card. But I think that they're going to be motivated with Drew Brees behind center probably for his last season. There's going to be a lot of energy there. They have Emmanuel Sanders. They have Michael Thomas. And I think they're going to be able to execute enough. And defensively, I think they can stir up Trubisky. Still don't count on him at making any big plays in the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Saints, 27-17.
Okay.
I think this is one of the worst playoff games. And the Bears, I will give their defense credit. Their defense is very good. And when you hear my score, just know that it's focused more on I think their offense is inept and will put them in bad situations. So I have the Saints cruising like 35-13 victory. I don't think Chicago will put up points on them. And I think the Bears offense, whether just by 3 and outing or turning the ball, too quickly or turning the ball over, will give the Saints advantageous possessions. And I think the Saints will eventually capitalize because they're really good.
They are really good. However, I think the question mark of Alvin Kamara leaves a lot to be up in the air in this game, because we don't know really if he's playing yet or not. Nothing has come out with certainty yes or certainty no. I have to go with what is there and what's available. An aging Drew Brees who struggles to push the ball down the field, an elite Bears defense that's been playing lights out. And for some reason, I just have this sickening feeling that the Bears are going to somehow find a way to pull this game out and prolong their own suffering. Because if Mitchell Trubisky gets a W in this game and Matt Nagy leads them to a victory, the questions now become is, do you extend Trubisky? Is Trubisky your guy going forward? Does Nagy continue to stay on as the head coach? And while they've had some success in Chicago, it's like this awful relationship in which they always let you down, but then they just do just enough to keep themselves in your good graces, sort of things. So I really feel bad for the fans of Chicago, and I'm gonna feel really, really bad after the Bears win 20-14.
And it was announced Nagy's coming back.
Correct.
And I want to point one thing out. Don't talk about an arena football legend like Matt Nagy that way.
I'm so sorry. That's my bad. I should have known better.
The next game on the docket is two teams that we are very familiar with, and that is the Seahawks versus the Rams. It's in Seattle. The Rams are going to be weekend horse. Who do you got? You got the Seahawks. Is Russ going to be able to cook and get them enough to win, or is it going to be Rams time in Seattle?
I'm taking Sean McVay. I'm not necessarily taking the Rams players, but I'm taking Sean McVay to have something cooked up for them. He is a better coach than Pete Carroll when it comes, let me rephrase that, than Ken Norton.
Okay.
And that offense looked the same to me with Wolford running it last week. If you rewatch the game, as Goff, it's not like asking someone to come in and replace Patrick Mahomes. All you have to do is sort of like the Niners quarterbacks needed to do this year. Get the ball into open people's hands. Don't turn it over. And for some reason, the Rams just seem to have the Seahawks number. And the Seahawks offense has not been impressing me lately. I think the Rams pull this out and win 24-21.
Whoa. Surprising. He was not joking. Pre-show, he said, one side of the bracket's going to look a little odd. I think I figured out what side of the bracket that may be. I don't agree with you here on this at all. I think the missing gaffe in Jared Goff is going to be a little too much for the Rams to overcome. I understand that you have Wolford, and like you said, the offense seemed to be the same, but now the Seattle Seahawks have a full game film of him and what
Grey Cup MVP, by the way.
It's true, he's a Grey Cup MVP. They are going to do a lot more defensively with it. Their defense has looked a lot better in the last couple of weeks for the Seattle Seahawks. Offensively, yes, there's still a lot of question marks, but the real question becomes is if you're asking me, is this game going to be close? I would argue that it would probably be close just based on how good both defenses have been playing for both teams. So then you're asking me which quarterback do I trust more, and that's not even a question. So it's going to be Russell Wilson and the Seahawks over these Rams, 28-17.
Yeah, the Seahawks defense has been playing top flight for like the last 5 weeks. You have a quarterback that's not very familiar playing with these, playing in the NFL, and you've got the all-time blitzing guys on the other side. Norton is going to send them all day, every day. They still have Wright. They still have the great linebackers. They're going to cause a lot of problems. And I think the Rams, watching that game last week, there was a pick six. The Rams offense looked inept for the most part, and I think they'll look inept again. And I think Russell Wilson will get it going. Jalen Ramsey will have his complete focus on Metcalf. And once again, Lockett will get going and have a big game. Chris Carson and the running backs will get going and have big games. And the Seahawks are going to win 31-17.
Well, apparently I'm the only one that feels that way.
That's accurate.
Apparently I must be the only Canadian football fan in the group.
Safe to say.
Well, yeah, I don't really agree with multiple people going forward at once.
It's weird. It's a weird concept.
So, last on the docket might be the worst game. Definitely the most random game, I think, in recent playoff history. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Tom Brady, the youngster, at the Washington team.
The Washington team. They burned me once. I'm not gonna lie. They burned me when I didn't pick them. And I picked the Niners, and then they smacked Nick Mullins around a bunch. But it's not Nick Mullins. They're on the other side. That's not what they're dealing with. And as much as the Alex Smith comeback heroic story would be incredible, watching Smith stick one to Tom Brady, and as much as I would pay lots and lots of money, real dollars, to watch that happen, there's almost no chance of it happening. It's going to require, a divine intervention and every single receiver coming out of the game and Gronkowski and something happening to Brady in order for the Washington football team to get out of this game with a W. I think the Tampa Bay offense is finding their stride, especially in the pass game. I think you're going to get 2 or 3 Antonio Brown touchdowns this week, and I think you're going to see the biggest lopsided win in the playoffs in this game, 42-13.
I think that the football team was going to be motivated. They're going to come out and they're going to be playing, and they're going to be at home. There's going to be a lot of excitement, and then all that's just going to be ripped away. I don't care that Mike Evans isn't playing in this game. It's Tom Brady versus a offense that is completely inept for the Washington football team. They would have to have Tom Brady turn the ball over 2 to 3 times to have a chance to come close to winning this game. I don't see him making those mistakes. I think the run game for Tampa Bay is going to get going, which is going to slow up, this pass rush, and I think they're going to run right at him all day, and I think Tampa Bay is going to win. I don't think it's going to be as big of a blowout, only because I think it's going to be a lot of running and a lot less, time with the football for the football team, but I think that it's going to be 28-16.
Ooh.
I'm pretty much along the same lines as you guys. I respect that Tampa Bay defense, especially that Washington defense, especially the defensive line. Those guys are a problem, but it's kind of along the same line with what I said in the Saints game. The offense is so inept that it's gonna give the Bucs continual chances to score. The Bucs have Tom Brady, they have Ronald Jones, they have Gronk, they have Antonio Brown, they have Chris Godwin. They're going to score some points. I think the game is a tough game about to around halftime, and then I have Tampa Bay pulling away bad in the second half, 38-14. If you're enjoying this playoff prediction show, remember to scroll down, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. Let us know if you agree with our picks or if you think something different is going to happen during these games this weekend.
Definitely want to get notified because we're going to have draft specials and free agency frenzy and everything going on. You want to be here so you can get all the news.
We have a lot of cool stuff.
There is a lot of cool stuff. And back to some more cool stuff, because after the wild card round obviously comes next is the divisional round and those divisional games. And we'll start back in that AFC conference. Ant, we'll start with you. Who do you have in that matchup of the Chiefs versus the Titans?
This is one of those things where the Tennessee Titans defense hasn't played well, and they haven't played well all year. And they're going against the number one, in my opinion, quarterback in the NFL. And Andy Reid has had a full He's going to have a full extra week by this point to get prepared. He's going to have a lot of tricks. It's not going to be good. Kelsey and those guys just put so much stress on the defense. Last year they got down. They came all the way back. And this time it's not even going to be close. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're going to get up early and then kind of pull off 42-21 Chiefs over the Titans.
Horst, same matchup for you as well. Are you thinking and leaning the same way as Amy?
I am leaning that this is where the dynasty stops.
Oh my Lord Almighty, he's getting bold!
Derrick Henry goes for another 200-yard game, hits the Chiefs right in the mouth. I have Titans 34, Chiefs 39.
My goodness gracious, upset number 1. I don't have the same matchup as you guys. As you all remember, I picked the Browns over the Steelers. So I'm going to have Chiefs v. Browns. And that's just not going to go well for the Browns. That's actually a very good matchup for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Why?
Because the Browns don't have any pass defense.
But they have Baker Mayfield.
They do have Baker Mayfield. And I think Baker will have a good showing in the game.
He's locked out of his own stadium.
He is. He does sometimes. I mean, I don't know if you've seen those commercials. He does. He also has to, every time he goes back in, he has to get. Anyway, that's beside the point. Because the Chiefs are going to absolutely mollywop this Browns team. And I feel bad for the Browns for the first time in God knows how long that you finally make the playoffs again. You get a playoff win in the opening round. You're feeling great. And then you run into the behemoth that is the Chiefs. And they score 52 points on you. You put up a nice 28, but it doesn't matter because you can't stop the Chiefs offense. Chiefs 50, 52, 28. Not good. Whew. Hate to see it.
Well, Horst, in the other matchup to decide who's going to play in the AFC Championship, it is going to be the Bills welcoming the Steelers for both of us. Who do you got? You got Bills or you got Steelers?
I think that the Bills are, the way both teams are playing right now, are a much better team at the moment. Obviously, the Steelers have the advantage in that Big Ben has played a lot of playoff games, won 2 Super Bowls. Tomlin is a Super Bowl winning head coach. But I think this is the day where the young fellow Josh Allen takes the old Big Ben out to pasture. And I have the Bills running away with it a little bit, 38-17.
We'll stick with you, too, since you got the same matchup.
Right. I see this going similar as Horst. I think the Bills team is better than the Steelers. I think that the Steelers, receivers could give the Bills some problems. But overall, I'm going to trust the overall team of the Bills. I just think they're a better team than the Steelers are. I think the Steelers have maybe better weapons, but I don't think anyone on the Steelers can stop Stephon Diggs. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Bills 31-27 in a closer game, but I think the Bills will pull it off.
I have the same exact score in my matchup. Mine is going to be Bills versus Titans. 31-27 with a late score by Derrick Henry and an onside kick attempt. But I think the Bills get out to an early lead on the Titans. They're able to hold off and fend off the onslaught of Ryan Tannehill as he tries to pull some magic out of his hat there at the end. And then hands the ball off to Derrick Henry to pile one in and get it into the end zone. But they don't recover the onside kick. It's just too little too late. The Bills are able to hold on and get themselves into a glorious matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs. But before we get there, we got another side of the bracket to do. NFC time. Gentlemen. First up, we got Packers matchups, but I think each of us have a different matchup for the Packers games. Ant, start with you. What do you got in your Packers second round game, the divisional?
I have a matchup that the NFL is salivating over the possibility of, is Tom Brady heading to Green Bay to play the Packers. And I think that this game was previewed in the regular season, and Tampa Bay absolutely annihilated Green Bay. They killed them. They beat them up. It was supposed to be a primetime game, and it was nothing prime about it. And I think this one goes a different way. I think Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers playing in Lambeau Field beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, because this isn't Belichick's Patriots. Mm-mm. This is Bruce Arians' Tampa Bay team, and they're just not good enough. So I got the Packers winning 31-24 and sending Tom Brady home for a second year in a row.
So I have the Packers and the Rams. after their big time upset over Seattle and all the problems you guys pointed out with the Rams. I didn't get exposed in this one.
Just not the first one.
Nope. I have Green Bay 34-17. Too much offense for them.
I mean, yeah. My matchup is the Packers versus the Bears, because the Bears had that glorious upset of the Saints in the first round. Bears fans everyone in Chicago started to feel real good about the Bears. Real good about Mitchell Trubisky out there with his arms slinging. Matt Nagy back there calling plays. And then it doesn't matter because you run into pissed off Aaron Rodgers and he throws for 4 touchdowns. 32-6. Packers as they annihilate a conference foe, a divisional foe.
Yeah, I think that could happen.
Very well could.
All right, so in my second round game, this is where, as Ant talked about in his, this is the NFL salivating situation. I have Drew Brees versus Tom Brady.
Ooh.
And just how he talked about in his matchup didn't quite go. They were pretty one-sided, the Saints-Bucks games. I have it going the other way. I have Tom Brady beating Drew Brees in a shootout, 41-38.
Tom Brady ends Drew Brees' career, according to Horst.
And then he laughs at his mole.
Like that, I could see that. I could see it.
It's not nice.
It's not nice, but I could see it happening.
But it's funny.
I think I have a very salivating matchup here as well for the quarterback in the NFL. The young gunslinger in Russell Wilson in Seattle versus the old.
30.
He's not Tom Brady old.
That's right.
So therefore he's young. That's how this works. Also, if he's old at 30, I'm screwed. That's beside the point. Russell Wilson versus Tom Brady. The only thing here that is going positive for anyone here is this is an opportunity for Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks to stick it to Tom Brady after they stole one from their clutches. But guess what? You can't do it. And you know why you can't do it? It's because your offense can't get anything figured out and dialed in. And yes, your defense has been playing lights out, but they've been playing lights out and not been playing an offense like this one. The Bucs have just enough juice in the tank to get them over the hump. Mike Evans returns, goes off for a nice $175 and a touchdown. Gronkowski catches 2 touchdowns, one of them late to seal the game. 42-33. Buccaneers.
Bucks.
Yeah. I have a key marquee matchup as well, because I have Russell Wilson heading to New Orleans to play the Saints. This is Drew Brees' last run, his last hurrah, and Seattle has some holes, and I think that the Saints could take advantage of some, but Russell Wilson is still Russell Wilson.
That's true.
And this gets scary. I don't know if I trust the Saints defense enough to beat the Seahawks, but I do think they're going to beat the Seahawks because I think that Drew Brees is going to push it a little bit longer. Michael Thomas is going to get going. Alvin Kamara is going to have a big game because this defense is not as good on the edges, stopping the run. We've seen that. And I think the Saints get it done in what is going to be probably the classic game of the week, 37-34, in an absolute drop-down showdown, and the Saints win.
That's impressive.
That sounds like a heck of a contest.
They're going to be.
It really does. It really does. We're halfway there, boys and girls. We are halfway done. But now, well, I mean halfway in terms of like two rounds. Okay. There's 2 left. There's obviously not. Let's move on. That was silly. Conference championship games on the line. Ant, you and I have a very similar conference championship game. Chiefs and Bills, the 1 and the 2 seed, the top 2 seeds. I think the 2 teams after about week 10. Everyone kind of thought, you know what I'd really like to see? Those 2 teams face off in the playoffs. What do you have? And what direction do you see the game going?
I think this game is going to be very interesting because I think that the Bills are still one of the best teams. The one thing that's going to be big in this game, though, is how much experience the Chiefs have in playoff situations because they did lose a lot before they won. They kept losing, and then finally they got over the hump last year. Josh Allen is one heck of a quarterback. They got a heck of a team. When I look at the Chiefs defense, I see them making just enough plays a honey badger, interception, something of that nature to get the game to the Chiefs. And I think the Chiefs do win, but I think it's going to be one heck of a game. 38-35, Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh me, oh my! I want to say that would be impressive. It really would. However, the dynasty ends here, as our compatriot Horst said down there. The dynasty ends here and now. This is the first time where a league MVP is going to make it into a Super Bowl in some time now. It's been a few years. Last year,
announced the MVP?
No, but look, Josh Allen is going to win the MVP.
Rodgers.
Oh no, it's going to be Josh Allen. I'm calling it right now.
It's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
It's pretty sure it's going to be Josh Allen. It doesn't matter. We can argue semantics all day long. It's going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen is going to finally get over the hump. Lamar Jackson came up short last year. He was depressed. He was really sad. He was really upset. Josh Allen is going to be celebrating a glorious, glorious victory over this Kansas City Chiefs team, because I do think this Bills defense is good enough to slow down the Chiefs. And I don't know if the Chiefs defense can handle an offense like this Bills offense. They haven't really seen anything like it. They haven't played anything similar or close to this in the last couple of seasons. The question just becomes how much of a factor does the experience aspect, as you pointed out, play? And people also seem to forget too that Josh Allen has been through quite a few tumultuous playoff games. It's not like he doesn't have any playoff experience or hasn't played in any big games or dramatic games in the playoffs. He has, last year especially. I think he has enough experience to get them over the hump, and I think the confidence level for him is the big thing, because he feels like and is playing like the best quarterback in the league. He may not be, but he's sure as heck playing like it. And I'm going to give the edge to the Bills here, 28-27.
He's about to see who the best quarterback is.
Yeah, it's going to be Josh Allen.
I'm not agreeing with you on that, even though I don't even have the best quarterback in the league making it here.
Oh, wow. Okay, incredible. Yeah, you had Derrick Henry running all over the Chiefs. That makes sense.
The best player in the league beating the best quarterback in the league.
Oh, the best player in the league. Gotcha, go ahead.
All right, who you got for yours, Horst?
I have Bills versus Titans.
Yeah.
That's Buffalo versus Tennessee.
Yeah, Mark. Music City Miracle.
Yeah. Rematch of the Music City Miracle. Doug Flutie ain't walking through that door.
What about Frank Wycheck?
What about Robo QB Rob Johnson?
Yeah, there you go.
Steve Air McNair. Is there any shot of him showing up?
Oh, Jesus. Come on, Owen.
We'll get an Eddie George sighting?
No.
No, because he doesn't get along with The Rock. Don't you watch Ballers?
No.
So I have a really tough knockdown, drag out, best fight since Rocky IV. Bills 31, Titans 27. So nice. I also have the Buffalo Bulls advancing to the Super Bowl.
Buffalo Bulls. Nice. In the NFC, we also have two gentlemen here who share a matchup, but it isn't
me though.
And
God.
It's that fine gentleman in the University of Kentucky hat over there and the big-nosed Italian. Mr. University of Kentucky hat-wearing individual person. What do you got in your NFC Conference Championship matchup?
So in this matchup, I have the MVP, Aaron Rodgers, playing against
blasphemous.
The 109-year-old quarterback from the Bucs, Tom Brady. And I think Aaron Rodgers, he might be the best quarterback of the generation, but has been overshadowed by Tom Brady for years and years. Oh, yeah. Is finally going to get one over on Tom Brady. Same reason you had them losing before. This is not Bill Belichick's Tom Brady team. This is Bruce Arians, and I think the Packers also avenge that loss just in a different round. 35-28 Green Bay.
I have the exact same score and the exact same team to set up the matchup that everyone wants to see. The two best quarterbacks in the NFL, Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers, dueling it out not only for a Super Bowl, not only for a Super Bowl MVP, but to crown who the real MVP of the league is. Aaron Rodgers is going to run all over, and by run I mean throw the ball really far to Devontae Adams, all over the Bucs, 35-28, as he just said.
My matchup is the Saints traveling to Green Bay to play the Packers. So this is where Drew Brees' career finally comes to an end. I believe that he just can't get it done. He will play good. I think the Saints will play well. But Tonyan and Devontae Adams are just too much. The running game for Green Bay will get going. Aaron Rodgers will find the magic since he's the MVP of the NFL this season. And I believe that they will make it to the Super Bowl and will set up the rematch of rematches, the same as Super Bowl I or NFL Championship. We got Kansas City Chiefs versus the Green Bay Packers, Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers, Andy Reid versus whoever the heck the Green Bay coach is, because it should just be Aaron Rodgers.
I got
And
a
that's the
question.
matchup.
So
Is anyone going to let the Packers know that they don't call holding in the second half when you play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Probably should let them know.
you know, someone from the Niners especially, maybe
Yeah.
a brother
Should give him a
or
call
something,
ski.
should give him a call or
Yeah.
something.
Hey,
how much?
Ronald Blair, give him a holler.
There's that too. The real question is, if this actually comes to pass, how much money did State Farm pay the NFL this season?
Well, I think it was supposed to happen last year.
Oh, you think it was supposed to happen?
It was supposed to
last
happen last year, and there was a little wrinkle named Kyle Shanahan in the 49ers run game.
So it's like Don the Magic Man Mikowski against Jim Kelly.
year? My word.
There you go.
My word, sir. That's right. We delve into conspiracy theories on this podcast. Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of. Super Bowl
You know what
time.
also draw big ratings?
What?
Quarterback with an arm growing out of...
That's accurate. That's very true. It's very true. Super Bowl time. So we have two people that have the same exact matchup. This gentleman here is going to be very upset because he thinks this means it's never going to happen, which means he's automatically lost. And then we have you here with the All-State Farm Bowl, Chiefs, Packers, discount double check versus the Mahomies. What do you got?
I don't know. It's a Patrick Price, right, versus the Rodgers rate.
That's true.
It's going to be one heck of a game.
I get it now.
Yeah, it's going to be one heck of a game. I think that this is kind of a matchup that a lot of, NFL purists will want to see. The two best quarterbacks in the NFL against each other at one time. A just offensive mastermind in Andy Reid, who finally got over the hump last year. You have one of the best tight ends. You have one of the best receiving cores. They have good running backs. Kansas City is loaded. And Green Bay has done a good job of loading up. I did not expect them to have any talent besides Devontae Adams, but Tonyan really came on this year. And Aaron Rodgers just elevates the level of the players around him. But when it comes down to it, Kansas City Chiefs are a little bit better than Green Bay. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to display his magic, and he's going to have a heck of a game. And Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter is just going to get it done. And I think they're going to win, and I think it's going to be an exciting game, and everyone's going to, be cheering, and it's going to be back and forth. And I think that the Chiefs are going to win 37-34 with a Patrick Mahomes touchdown to Tyreek Hill to win the game and defeat the Packers and get revenge for Super Bowl I.
54 years later.
54 years in the making.
Incredible storyline. Absolutely incredible.
So, Josh Allen, coming out of Wyoming, lots of big games. So, when you got the Bills and Packers, you have the third or fourth best quarterback in football versus the best quarterback in football. Or, versus the second best
That's very
quarterback
accurate.
in football.
Now he's the second best.
Yeah, Mahomes is the best.
Oh, okay.
So, the Packers, I think, because of Rodgers' playoff experience, because I think they still are a little bit better team than the Bills, I would pick the Packers in this game. I think it would be a heck of a game. I think Josh Allen would acquit himself very well. I think he'll have a good game. But Aaron Rodgers, kind of the same reason he takes Mahomes over Rodgers, I would take Rodgers over Allen, and that Rodgers is just a different level of quarterback than Josh Allen. And I have the Packers winning 37-31.
I know he's on pins and needles right now because he wants to know, did this man choose Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to really screw me? And I can tell you one thing right now. Aaron Rodgers is going to be discount double checking his balls because the Bills
Why is it always about balls with him?
The Bills are going to beat the absolute brakes off this Packers team. Beat the brakes off them. It's the year of Josh Allen. It's the year of absolute insanity. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year that the Buffalo Bills were going to be one of the hottest teams in football come playoffs and one of the best teams in football and that Josh Allen was going to be an MVP contender, I would have asked you, how much crack are you smoking? I would have been a Stephen A. Stay off the weed. But no one's on the weed. It's 2020 year. Everything's insane. Josh Allen is insane. The Buffalo Bills are insane. And they're going to go absolutely insane over the Green Bay Packers. 52-28 Buffalo Bills. Woo!
So
If the Bills do it, by the way, I will jump through a table on the podcast. Shout out Bills Mafia.
Kinda
What's up?
for the Bills
Yeah.
now.
What's up, Bills Mafia?
Well,
what
that
you doing?
poor table is going to see some things.
He's gonna feel some things.
well,
you know
the
what I
good
mean?
news is there's 3 fan bases that can be happy with us.
It's true.
The Bills, the Chiefs, and the Packers.
You're welcome.
You can be happy with us because we chose your team to win. The unfortunate thing is that once Patrick Mahomes throws ketchup all over Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to be correct.
Wow. Not nice.
52 points
I
in the
know.
Super Bowl, huh?
Whew.
Can I redo my bracket?
You know what? That doesn't
God.
sound like a very exciting Super Bowl.
Oh no. See, it will be because it won't happen until the fourth quarter.
They're going to go for 52 points.
52 in the fourth.
So it's going to be 0-0.
So you've heard it here first.
It's gonna be 28-0. Greatest comeback of all time.
Ignore that, man.
52.
Ignore the orange shirt, okay? Ignore anything.
He's drunk.
Yeah, it's. You need to listen to this table right here.
What?
We are more accurate.
Hey,
What?
I'm in the group.
You're only in the group because you sit next
So
to
you
me.
heard it here. It will either be the Packers or Chiefs.
It's gonna be the Bills.
And the 2 best quarterbacks are Aaron Rodgers and
Josh Allen.
Bingo.
Do you really think Josh Allen's better than those 2?
Obviously not. I don't. But I'm going to ride the Josh Allen hotness train right now. That
Thurman?
man is hot.
Why? Do you look at a lot of pictures of him? Or
I would just like to point out the NFL loves storylines.
They do love storylines.
What storyline is better than the highest paid quarterback, Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers, Kansas City versus Green Bay? Kansas City winning a second championship 54 years after Green Bay started their 2-year run. Just writes itself.
you want to know what's better? Green Bay winning again after they won the first one against Kansas City 54 years ago.
I don't like it.
You guys know?
Lynn
wanna know
Dawson says no.
you want to know what's even better
Bart
than
Starr
that?
says yes.
With everything that the city and the state of New York has gone through, a team from New York beats 2020 and beats it to a bloody pulp to bring home a Super Bowl World Championship.
Is Buffalo really in New York?
Pretty much not. It's practically Canada. The fan base is impressive, man.
They are.
They jump through tables.
They are, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Bills Mafia.
Their devotion is impressive.
Yeah. Bills Mafia. We may be 49er fans. We may be 49ers homers. But respect.
Mm-hmm. Still wish we would have got a boomer Super Bowl. Bills versus Niners.
It would have been absolutely glorious. It would have been wonderful. It would have been wonderful.
Maybe next year.
All right, guys. So you saw the playoff prediction. This is how it's going to play out. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope you come back to the channel for a lot of great content along the way.
Absolutely.
We'll always have episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays at 5:30 Pacific. You can check those out. And we're going to have lots of stuff on the draft. You'll want to stop by and get breakdowns of every position. Also, free agents that are going to be available. So make sure you guys stop by, check it out. And if you're a 49er fan, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You need to make sure you hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss the great content. We're going to cover the 49ers all through the offseason.
Yes, they are specifically at 5:30.
It's very accurate.
Very accurate. I think I know.
You know what time it is?
I think I know what time it
What
is.
in the name of John Brody's going on here?
All right, guys. It's that time. Let's chalk another one up.
John
The
Brody.
John Brody's going on here.
How are you going to say the Seahawks have a stingy defense when they give 270 passing yards to C.J. frickin' Beathard?
Did they win?
I don't care.
No, right then.